This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
To the McLarty Daniel Hotline, where Richard Davenport is. Richard, I want to start with one of the things that you kind of talked about recently. I mean, you spoke on this on Tuesday, that Quincy McAdoo right now is attending meetings. He's determined to get back. Now, there doesn't seem to be a timeline on that, but that's at least encouraging to hear about the former Clarendon player, now Razorback, that is doing everything he can to get back on that field.
Yeah, I don't think it should be too surprising. I mean, just because I just tend to think that at some point he was going to get back to campus and you know, start trying to get back to some normalcy football wise, and you know, as a student. But I think obviously, you know, him being involved, I think, is a plus, and he's. And I think it helps him too mentally to be with the guys. So I think all that right there is a plus. You know, whether or not he sees the field in the future or not, we'll find out. But I think it obviously it helps him, and I'm sure it helps the guys being around him, and he can kind of sometimes forget about you know what happened, and just be a normal guy, a member of the team.
Yeah, just get back to your routine. In your conversations, how's he doing? I mean, as far as health, and we've all known someone that's been through something of this or a similar nature, and it's normal to lose weight and kind of lose that strength. You're not going through your routine. Where's he at with that? Because I can't imagine he's been lifting a lot of weights and, you know, kind of keeping in the same shape he was prior to the accident.
Yeah, as far as that, I don't know. I think I think you kind of hit it right there, Tommy. I mean, I would imagine he's pretty limited, but at the same time, I don't know for sure.
Yeah,
didn't really touch on that.
Yeah, one thing we were just kind of discussing, and I just spitballing. I don't know anything, but you know, you can still play in 4 games and use that red shirt. So, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if we look up at the end of the year and he's not ready to go the first half or so of the season. He plays in maybe the last 4 games or whatever coming off that bye, because there's 4 games after the bye, and use that red shirt this year while still contributing in the back half of the year. That wouldn't be a shocking plan for them to put together.
No, I mean that obviously gives you that option. So that's something that you know, when they gave that first came out, I don't think anybody really understood all the pluses for kids with the 4-game redshirt rule. So I think that's obviously something that could be a possibility.
Richard Davenport with us here on the McLarty Daniel Hotline. Richard, we're 51 days out from Razorback football. I know people are, again, anticipating the games, but they're also anticipating a couple commits and recruits as well. Braylon Russell is the big in-state name that people are excited to hear about his decision. What's the latest on him out of Benton?
Well, he's gonna announce. He's gonna have a ceremony about 6:30 on Friday. Announced about 6:45, and he narrowed the list of 5 to Arkansas, South Carolina, and Tennessee. I think it's Arkansas and Tennessee. I usually, when a kid has these type of ceremonies with all the media and everything like that, it usually means good news for the hometown. You know, mm-hmm. I mean, maybe it doesn't. I tend to lean towards Arkansas, but I guess we'll see. And then Selman Bridges shortly after that, the 4-star cornerback from Texas, will announce his decision right around 7:00. So it could be boom, you know, two commitments for the Razorbacks, but at the same time, we don't know until it happens.
And he might be the highest rated kid in this upcoming class. I'm just speaking to Bridges if they were to bring him in.
Yeah, I feel good about Bridges. When he made his official visit, was hearing things, and then after his official visit, heard even better things. So I think Arkansas is in good position there. Obviously, you don't know until they announce, but I think he really connected with Coach Woodson and Coach Wilson, and just felt very, I guess, at home at Arkansas during his official visit. So, I will say this: I was able to see him after his official visit. He'll be the tallest cornerback Arkansas has ever had if he chooses to be a Razorback. He's a legit 6'3", 6'4".
High school dead period over. I know kids are. I don't know. Most places are not having practice yet. School starts in about a month, depending on where you're at in our state. But I know kind of business getting back to usual, and that's maybe one of the reasons you're having some of these signings right now before a lot of these high school camps fully get underway soon.
Yeah, July is always a very busy, probably one of the busiest months for commitments for kids, just because the vast majority of them want to get it done before the start of their season. There'll be a few probably come in August too, but mostly in July, because that's the dead period, and also you've had opportunities from April to the end of June to make official visits. So this is always a traditionally busy time for college decisions.
And I don't know how much you know about today's 7-on-7. I heard there's a big one going on at Shiloh Christian. There's a lot of 7-on-7 stuff going to happen before these camps get underway. And that next couple of weeks we'll be busy with those.
Yeah, no doubt. That's the coaches love them, and players do too. But the coaches absolutely love that, especially for the timing for the quarterbacks and the receivers, and then obviously the DBs and getting work too. So it's and man, with the weather the way it is, it's a good opportunity for those guys to stay in shape.
Richard Davenport with us here again on the McClarty Daniel Hotline. Artie, kind of a broad question with this football team and this football program. Sam Pittman has compiled a pretty solid class to this point for 2024. They're farther ahead from a commitment standpoint than some other blue bloods in this league. When you look at what you have to compete in year out, what should fans expect from a ranking standpoint from Arkansas football, not just within the league, but also overall nationally?
I think, I think nationally, and usually that kind of dictates where you are in the league a little bit. Nationally, I think legitimately hope for a top 20 class, and then and hope to get into that top 15 too. I think that's doable, and maybe it may even be doable with this class. I don't know. Just you don't know how it's going to finish out. You don't know how many guys that they're going to finish. With the class, that also determines your ranking because of the numbers, and the more guys you have committed to you, the total number that you have as far as your class, and that usually helps you with your ranking. So, but right now they got 6 4-stars, and Friday obviously they could add 2 more, and that would be one of the better classes Arkansas's had in quite some time. We'll have to do a little bit more studying on that, but I think it definitely has a chance to be one of the better classes. And then if somehow that they have a really good season, 9-10 win season, I think we've always talked about that. In order for Arkansas to break into that top 15 and try to go top 15 or even better, Arkansas's got to win at a high level a couple years and try to get some momentum going, and then because kids want to go where you could have a chance to win a championship or something like that, and that right there that will do more for recruiting than anything else. And I think that Coach Pittman and the staff has shown that they can recruit at a pretty good high level. It's just they got to get a little bit of help with the win column, and if they do that, I think things can take off and contend for a top 15 class on a fairly regular basis.
You're the expert on this, so I want to make this statement. You tell me if I'm right or wrong. I don't think Arkansas can ever get a top 10 class directly out of high school, But I think because you got 24/7 Sports on 3 Rivals, they also add in the transfer rankings. The only way to me that Arkansas football ever gets a top 10 class is when you parlay the transfers into high school kids. Am I right on that? Is that the only way you could see Arkansas getting a top 10 class in football?
As of now, yeah. The only way they could do that legitimately just with high school kids is do another Clemson. Clemson, until Dabo got there, was a very good program. And I've made the comparison between Arkansas and Clemson through the years. I think Arkansas and Clemson are fairly comparable as far as what they have to deal with. Most of their kids come from out of state, and Clemson was a good program, but not an elite program until Dabo got there. And that's why I say if Arkansas can, string a couple of seasons where they win, 10 games or better, and get some momentum going, and then what you have to do is you have to get that quarterback, that game-changing type quarterback, as far as program-changing quarterback, like Clemson has done a couple of times when Dabo first started with Deshaun Watson and some of the others. That's how you get those top 10 classes, is to be able to get an elite quarterback, and then that attracts other guys, as far as skill guys, and then that also attracts guys on the defensive side, because they feel like that, hey, you're going in the right direction. You got a guy that has a chance to take that program to the elite level, and then that's the only way that I could see them possibly get to a top 10 class on a decently fairly regular basis.
Richard Davenport with us here on the McClarty-Daniel Hotline. Take us inside Dave Van Horn's office right now. Following the draft, a lot of the players he had put together in that number 1 class are most likely to go ahead and sign pro contracts. What's he working on? What's he doing right now to get his roster put together over the next few weeks before school begins in mid-August?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure he's in communication with some of those guys and seeing what they're thinking. I mean, maybe there'll be a surprise, and one of the guys that you anticipated them signing, they can't come to an agreement with a contract, and they go ahead and come get on campus. But I would tend to think that the portal's obviously the focus right now. And I didn't pay attention until I paid attention to the first day of the draft, but I didn't really pay much attention afterwards. I did a little bit, but haven't really looked at it intently. But I don't know how many guys are going to sign. I figure about 5, maybe 6. And if that's the case, obviously you take a little bit of a dent in your class, but with 13 guys in the top 100, if 5 of them sign, you still got 8, and that's still an elite signing class. So the 23 class is pretty historical, class, not only just for Arkansas, because it was the first time for Arkansas to be rated number 1 class in recruiting, but also nationally. It's at least a perfect game. They had 13 guys in the top 100, and I think Florida in 2011 had 11, and before that, nobody else came close to what Arkansas has done.
Well, they sign, you lose them that way. At least they're not going to Vanderbilt or Tennessee or LSU or somewhere to come back and beat your brains in somewhere down the road. So I guess if there's solace in you lost them to the pros. So
or change.
Yeah, and I'd hate to be a college baseball coach. I mean, those guys, what they face, versus what all the other coaches face, there's no comparison.
Yeah, so seems like all your hard work goes for naught at some times, but that's just that's the system. That's what you got to do. Richard, appreciate the insight this morning, and we'll catch up with you next week.
All right, guys. See you later.
BetOnline is your number one source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.